Karmi Ingber. We haven't done a broadcast in a while, but I look forward to hearing what he's got to share. Yeah, so let's just jump right in and turn it over to the rabbi.
Okay. Okay. We made it. We are here. Naomi, you're here too. Everyone's here. You know what Hillel said? Hillel said, if I am here, everyone is here. Now, he was not an egotist at all, but he understood that everyone's got something to do. And if you are there, there is a godly aspect that has to be brought into the world from us. We have to do. We have to do. We can't just sit around and say we can't do anything. So I didn't know where to start. It's been so long. I think I'm going to start more to hear where you guys are at, what you're thinking. For those of you in Texas, the Texas finally has come together. We're going to be, David is going to be on lead guitar. I'll be on rhythm guitar and harmonica. We'll have some keyboards, we'll have some percussion, and that's going to be on April 7th in Houston, Texas. We are sending out the flyers today, tomorrow, and that's going to be a nice event, and we'd love to see you all there. And I'll be in Houston going from the 4th of April to the 8th. I'll be speaking in some other places. And anyone who's living in Houston area, we would love to see you. It's a very important thing. Especially, we're talking about, in this channel, we have everyone. We have Noahides. We have people who are Jewish, people who are converted and converting, people who are not. People are people. Baruch Hashem, we have people. We have people, all kinds of people. And one of the great challenges is that people. I don't want to sound like a Barbra Streisand song, but people need people. People need to be able to connect to other people because it's very hard to be doing it on your own. You need connection. You need human connection. I mean, so much so that it's a central piece in life. There's an incredible statement when Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was passing, he was dying, the great sage, and the students asked him, they said, give us a blessing. And he said, you should have the fear of heaven like you have the fear for people. And now I don't know if they were insulted, but they were shocked. They said, that's it? He said, I don't understand. You live your life and we're so worried about what everyone's going to say. Who are they going to cancel on Facebook now? It better not be me. I better not say anything. We're so worried about whatever it is that people do to us. And yet people go around doing all crazy kind of stuff and don't realize that Hashem is watching us every single moment. I know there's no place to hide. We don't live our lives that way. And so I'd love to see you guys on Houston, those who are in that area. Reach out to me, RabbiIngber@gmail.com. I'll meet you personally also if you would like. Try to connect to what we're doing and to make it real. So that's the first thing. Now, where to start? That's a hard question. We haven't seen each other in a long time. And the good news, which is also the bad news, is the world has gotten crazier. Now, why is that good news and bad news? Because that's the sages tell us is what is going to happen. As you get closer to the times of clarity and revelation, and you're moving towards it in one dimension, the negativity speeds up. Kind of like when the Jews were in Egypt. And those who ever saw the sages talk about, they were having a lot of children at one time. And it was very compact. And that was because there was a compacting of time that the negativity was fighting so strong against the holiness that it was a very challenging time. And if you read the story in the Torah, how the Egyptians were stepping up the work and the toil and the nonsense and the media and the craziness, so much so that when Moshe came to Pharaoh and said to let the Jews go, his response is amazing. His response is you could learn everything about the mind control that the society is trying to do on everyone right now by looking at Pharaoh, because it was the same mind control. What did Pharaoh say? Pharaoh said, you know, Moshe, why are you going to bother people in their work? They're obviously not working hard enough. Let's put more nonsense in their head. Let's put more pain on them. Let's exhaust them more, and they won't be able to think about redemption. They'll be able to think about anything that's meaningful. And I got to tell you, that's clearly what's going on in the world today. It's just as you get closer, the hysteria, Donald Trump, like you people are out of your minds. Like, okay, I understand Donald Trump I understand he's not Mr. Humility. Understand that. I'm quite aware of that. I understand he has a tendency to be a braggart, but I mean, come on, really? Yeah, 400 years in jail. I mean, come on. Just like, but let's keep everyone busy with the nonsense because that's what we got to do. We got to go and like, hey, Hitler. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolute insanity how people are blinded. And I told you, that's why I said to you before about the good news and bad news, because it's like, you read these guys like George Orwell and the other people who are writing, I don't know, 100 years ago, 90 years ago about this, Orwellian society. And it was really understanding that the technology that's going to happen in the world is going to make it so much easier to control people's minds. And that's what's happening. So in that sense, it's really a battle of awareness and non-awareness, unawareness. That's really what's going on. And politics is the answer is not with these guys, it's not with those guys. You have to understand what we're being lied to about, and really see the world. And so that's what the bad news is that the world is getting absolutely crazier. The good news is that sometimes people are hearing it, and that really is what happens. It's a fascinating thing. I always tell people, and some people always like to be with the majority. The majority. I can say one thing about every great discovery that happened in history. I can say one thing that you should know. And this will help you to understand the blessing that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai gave his students. The fear of God, you have to have that. You have fear of people. So one thing I could tell you for sure, that every great invention that happened, before it happened, everybody was wrong. Isn't that crazy? So, like, if you're reading, listening to CNN and you're reading this, everyone's wrong. The world was not flat. The sun does not revolve around the earth. No, it's a deeper discussion, but the Talmud discusses. The Talmud knew the answer the whole time. Talmud explains the two sides, but I'm saying, but the masses did not get this. Everyone was wrong, but this was the common belief. So right now the world is in a place of very great darkness because of the lies and the ability for the lies to be issued so fast and like packaged. It's like, this is good. This thing we have, which is called bad, is now called good. And we're going to package it. We're going to make it look good. And we're going to. So that's what we're dealing with, unfortunately. And people are unfortunately not thinking. The good news is that that's all part of the plan. This is what happens. And when people start to, I mentioned Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump before, but why is he getting more popularity time? They throw another insane case at him because someone else starts to think, wait a minute. There's something not right here. Was the guy right the whole time that there was a deep state? I didn't really think there was a deep state. I thought it was crazy, but now it's like he's facing 400 years in jail for what everyone has done 1,000 times worse. It's like there's something wrong here, and everyone starts to realize it. So that's the state of the world today. And so it's my good news and bad news. And what I'm going to do is I want to open it up to hear from you all, because it's hard to structure a class right now to know where we're at and what you're all thinking about and where everyone's heart and minds are. So I'd like to hear from you. That's my introductory words, and let me hear from you all what you're thinking, what you're questioning, what you're wondering about, and what you want to know.